Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here at weatherweb.net. This is your look ahead, updated on Monday the 14th of September. Thanks again for watching. And a reminder that we can email you when this video is updated. Just send a blank email to generalweather-subscribe@weatherweb.net and we'll email you every time the video is updated. Okay, lots of news today about a report issued by the UK Met Office regarding how 2015 and 2016 may be the most critical years as far as climate change is concerned. I'll make no comment about that, but it does sound a little bit popularist, doesn't it? But these are the charts and graphs that really make that story come alive. This is the sea surface temperature anomaly chart. We've seen this several times, haven't we, over the last few months. I've been updating you on this through the look ahead. This is the El Nino here, coming across the central parts of the Pacific, growing into strong El Nino at the moment. And also in the report is noted the warmth of the water in the North Pacific off the western coast of the States. That is the area of warm water that you can see here. That off the western coast of the States. Been there for some time now, 2 to 3 degrees Celsius above normal water temperatures there, and a lot of discussion at the moment amongst climate scientists as to the impact that will have. Also notice how warm the water is both to the east, south and west of India, running into the Indian Ocean. And the other thing that's noted is the cooling effect that seems to be taking place in the Atlantic at the moment. Now, we've got cool water sat to the west of the British Isles, then an area of warmer water here to the west of Africa, cooler water in the southern Atlantic. That is typical of going into what we call negative AMO, which is a perfectly natural cycle in the Atlantic. It's the Atlantic multidecadal oscillation. Now, we don't have records going back sufficiently far to be able to make too accurate a prediction as to how the AMO may develop and may impact the climate across the world, but certainly it has an impact, and it's certainly going to be one that has a factor in the climate change models, although we don't know what that is. So it has to be taken into account, and that's why statements such as the most critical years on record, when we're just looking at a 2-day period dealing, 2-year period dealing with the Earth's climate, raises a few eyebrows, but still I guess it gets the headlines. What is interesting, and it's something I've spoken about before, is that we've got a hiatus in the warming at the moment. You've seen the chart, you're familiar with it, where increase in temperature has levelled off over the past 17, 18 sort of years. And the big debate was, where had that heat gone? And the theory is that it's actually been absorbed by the oceans. The oceans effectively are a giant heat sink, although eventually, of course, they do start to release that heat. And the most crucial chart in terms of ocean heat is this one. This is the total global ocean heat content. It's from NOAA, which is the American National Weather, or who operate the American National Weather Service. These records go back to 1955, and the important observations here is the red up and down line on the graph that you can see here. These are the 3-month observations. Now, going through that, we then have the yearly average of global ocean heat content, which is the black line, and then the blue line is a 5-year average running through 2010 to 2014. And what you notice here is that from effectively, it seems to have been around about the late 80s, we've seen this sharp increase in total heat content. So the question mark exists over whether is this where the additional heat that's been generated by anthropogenic climate change, is that where it's gone? Now, it's just one of the many questions associated with climate change, but increasingly the body of evidence seems to suggest that this heat is in the oceans and is being transported through the oceans. And of course we'll wait to see exactly what the outcome of that is. The theory is that the cooler AMO could lead to colder, drier summers across Europe. Again, I question those sort of statements. I know it's caused panic amongst many farmers today. Really treat those sort of statements with a pinch of salt. But certainly that's what is suggested by the news piece today. So back to our usual forecasts. One that I really didn't pick up on last week was the JMA. This is the Japanese Met Agency, and they update their monthly forecast every week. Because of other things going on through the weekend, we didn't really take an in-depth look at this, so I just wanted to give you a quick overview. This was their week 1 forecast, taking us up to Thursday of this week, so that's taken us up to the 17th of September, and it shows the deep trough out towards the west of the UK, the ridge off towards the east. This trough responsible for the unsettled conditions that we're going to be seeing through this week, and the wet weather too. Incidentally, looks like Wednesday could be particularly wet across the south of the country. This is the week 2 forecast, so this goes forward from the 18th of September all the way through to the 24th of September, and again we've got the ridge off towards the east, trough out towards the west, and what this is showing us is a pattern, probably something of that order. So it keeps sort of Scotland, eastern parts of the UK in drier conditions, tries to get the surface high building back in, but with this trough here down towards the southwest all the time, what it's trying to show us is the idea that actually across Ireland, across southern parts of England, particularly out towards the southwest of England, things could be more unsettled, probably with low pressure centred off towards the south, something rotating around like so. So an easterly flow overall, bringing rain towards the south, the southwest and southern parts of Ireland. It kind of goes away from the idea of this pressure build, although we did say the pressure build would be about the 23rd or the 24th. So it's away from that forecast. Then week 3 and 4, this from the 25th through until around about the 7th of October. This one's showing us again higher than normal heights towards the west, lower than normal off, higher than normal towards the east, lower than normal off towards the west. Trough coming in something like so. So certainly making things more unsettled west and south, perhaps drier north and east. Remember, this is the mean of the 2-week period. What it's not seeing though is any particular dry spell trying to get in. Now, compare that with what the CFS is showing. And that's picking up on week 1 looking like this. There's our unsettled weather that we're experiencing at the moment and will through this week. Week 2 goes for the idea higher than normal heights towards the north and a little bit towards the southwest, but keeps us nearer normal heights from the 21st to 27th. So yeah, still unsettled, but starting to improve. And then week 3 from the 28th of September to the 4th of October, well, that's got the higher than normal heights built in across the country. It sees the pressure build, and in fact it keeps it in there for week 4 from the 5th to the 11th of October. Our ideas have been, and this is what we've been telling private clients, is that we thought it would probably stay fair early October through to about the 10th. We had low confidence on it, but we could see that improvement take place. CFS sees it, Japanese not so much. And then the idea was a breakdown during the middle to the latter stages of October, going much more unsettled and wetter. Sticking with the forecast ideas at the moment, but of course we'll keep you updated on any changes here at weatherweb.net. Of course, if you're farming, you can check out our daily farmers weather forecast video. That goes out for the next week and further ahead. Take a look at farmersweather.co.uk. And pilots, you've got your own version of the look ahead, which is online at fly.co.uk/weather. And as if that weren't enough, if you need detail for the next couple of days, check out our fast forecast at weatherweb.net. Okay, I'll leave you with that for now, whatever you're doing. Thanks again for watching. Keep the sun shining, and bye for now.